Hey guys, this is V-Man from No Budget Productions, and with me today is my good friend from NerdTube, Zam. How are we doing, my friend?
I'm really great, man. May the force be with you.
Right on, man, right on. So, well, this has been a lot of nerd news. We had the DC fandom that happened a couple of days ago. Um, what was your all impression of that, my friend? Because I watched it and I was kind of outside of the few Batman things, I still couldn't believe we didn't get anything really on Green Lantern with, I think, what was it, three projects, supposedly in the works. We didn't hear anything about that. What
Um, Now go on.
what was your impression of the whole DC fandom?
It was mixed, to tell you the truth. I went in there thinking the worst and expecting nothing to be revealed. I really wanted to see something from The Flash, and I wanted to see something from Black Adam because this time last year, those films weren't even being made. But then obviously knew that those films were being made. Some of them have finished being made. Now I want to see some snippets. I want to see some trailers. I want some teasers. And we kind of got that to a degree. I mean, everything was on the Batman with Robert Pattinson. That was their main thing for DC fandom. But we kind of got a trailer for that already. So I wasn't too concerned about that anyway. Uh, Video games as well. I am dying to get my hands on the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video game. It's a 4-player co-op set in Metropolis. Oh my God, I'm so fed up of fucking Gotham. Yeah, so
Yes.
to have it in a different city, playing as the bad guys, trying to get the good guys. And as what I saw of the cinematic trailer was not just Superman, but all of the Justice League have been possessed by Brainiac. So they're all going to be like different bosses. You're going to probably all these different Justice League members will be like different bosses. You're going to have to probably deal with. I'm very much looking forward to that. And it's the dark humor as well, which I've always been a fan of, like black comedies, dark humor, and stuff like that. So those are pretty good. There was some interesting stuff there. So not everything I can remember, but there was something for everybody. Not everything was going to be for you, but there was going to be a little bit here and there. Much better than last year. Last year they had, like promises of what's going to be delivered. We kind of got to see a little bit more what was delivered this year around. My only issue is that DC, Warner Brothers, however you want to look at it, they're so fucking slow. You see what the
Yeah.
MCU have done,
Right.
and Disney, Marvel. They've given us 23 movies in less than 15 years. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah. Pull your fucking finger at DC. Actors are not immortal. They will age. They'll get too old to do these roles eventually. Ezra Miller is not getting any fucking younger. Just like he was first introduced like 7 years ago or some shit like that as the
Yeah.
Flash. Like, Henry Cavill became Superman 10 years ago. Come on, get the fucking show on the road. I mean, it took him 10 years to get Black Adam, onto the big screen. It's just ridiculous. Like, I just get
Okay.
a bit concerned that, just as we start to go places, okay, we can't continue anymore because these guys are getting too old. 4 years for Aquaman 2. Come on, it's not good enough. These things need to be rolled out a lot quicker. Move your fucking ass. But other than that, it was not too bad. Not as it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't fantastic. It was okay.
That's gonna say Black Adam. The if it wasn't for the name of it being The Rock, I don't think we would have gotten anything. And it just seems like forever we've been waiting on, when are we going to see something with The Rock, and when is Black Adam going to come around? Because it's like, honestly, that's the only thing being held, you know, uh, that's the only thing holding that thing together, because I think we've all been chomping at the bit to see something with that, but I mean, for how many years were we waiting on a Nightwing movie? Or it's just they've got so much bullshit that's out there. They had a Blue Beetle, which we're hearing. They have a Batgirl, which we're hearing. They
Blue Beetle,
you know
yeah.
it's they've had, it's taken them forever to do the Aquaman stuff, but we thankfully had a sequel to Wonder Woman, but like you said, it took them forever to do Flash, and he was introduced 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. It's terrible. They've taken way too long on the stuff that really they shouldn't. And like they said, these people have aged. Come on, man. And we still don't even know if Henry Cavill is going to be Superman in this, or like what are they doing? It just seems like they're going in 50 different directions, and we don't know. Whereas with Marvel, they're at least going in a stable direction.
I agree.
The questions we ask with the questions we ask with Marvel are good, where we're like, wow, where are they going? With DC, it's kind of, where are they going?
Yeah. I agree.
It's
I mean,
so
we
crazy.
got Black Adam, we got Shazam. Now we need to see these two guys eventually clash heads. I'm a bit pissed off that we never got the Superman cameo in Shazam because Henry Cavill backed out on that. And these are the sort of things that piss me off. Like, come on, you trying to make a universe or not? I don't even think Warner Brothers knows what the fuck it's doing. And regarding Wonder Woman 2, by the way, it was a pile of shit. I don't know what you thought. I was disgusted by it. Like, it ruined the lore because nobody was supposed to know who Wonder Woman is or was. But in 1984, the whole fucking world knew who she was because she was in everyone's minds during what's his face's wishes trick. What was the name of the guy? What was the name of the character?
Mr. Forgettable? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
know. The Latin fucking Donald Trump. Yeah,
Maxwell Lord. That's it.
Maxwell, like Maxwell Lord, he got into everyone's head, didn't he? And then it took Wonder Woman to convince everyone to not take those wishes. So she was able to convince 5 billion people, 6 billion people, whatever, to not do those wishes. You telling me every single one turned it down? Are you fucking mad? And so everyone knew who she was, but was it Patsy, what's her face, who directed it?
I
do like her, but even the best directors fuck up, and Wonder Woman 2 was an ultimate fuck up. Everything was bad about it. Gal Gadot was fucking bad. I think only thing was good about it was Maxwell Lord, and even then that it wasn't too good. It was just. I like
the story with the son, the story between the father and son, where he screwed up and he realized, because I'm a father, I looked over at Royce and I was like, oh, like that brought a tear to my eye, because I'm like, oh, you screwed up with your kid, don't mess, I connected there, but everything outside the movie, I was like, man, this is garbage, and you're not wrong. I was watching it on Guys Night with Royce. Royce had fallen asleep at that point. Up to that point, I think we watched PJ Masks, and then Royce fell asleep on the couch. On the other couch, I was on the bigger one. He was on the love seat, passed out. So I was like, oh, I'll watch Wonder Woman, because it was on HBO Max. So I popped it on, watched it, and I was like, I could have just passed out when Royce passed out, and got 2 hours sleep, and that's never the sign of a good movie, is when you waste 2 hours of your life, But But anyway, so that being said, you've watched a lot of bad movies, being a YouTuber and reviewing films, shows, stuff of that nature. What you are on NerdTube. You do a lot of reviews, films. What all got you into doing NerdTube?
Okay, I need to go way back. I mean, I'm talking way back, but I mean, it's more to what got me into YouTube. I am an atheist, and I'm of an Islamic background. When I was young, I used to think to myself, I'm the only person who thinks like this, and I realized going through YouTube that I wasn't. I really felt isolated having my mindset, and coming across YouTube, I realized I wasn't the only person. I did feel like I was the only ex-Muslim. Everyone else felt ex-Christian, but I did come across more ex-Muslims as well, which was pretty cool. But I would go to all these YouTube videos, and it would just confirm I don't want to say beliefs, but I don't look at it as a belief. I look at it as reality, fact. If people want to believe in their fucking fairy tales, be my guest, yeah. But at the end of the day, what you're believing in is fucking bullshit. And so when it came to affirming what I knew was fact, coming across these YouTube videos, seeing all these creationists getting fucking owned, it felt great. I felt like I always thought the right thing, because when I was younger, seeing so many religious people being hypocritical and only picking and choosing when to be religious, and the religions itself, or having so many fucking, contradictory bits to it. It just none of this made sense to me. And finding a community on YouTube really fucking helped. And I made a YouTube channel eventually. I made a YouTube video. I remember how shit it was. I haven't got it at hand, unfortunately, and it was done with a really terrible computer. But a couple of people who I looked at as really good and influential atheist YouTubers told me to give my story, and I did. And then eventually I started making more videos, and I had a friend of mine called Ray. He's still my friend now, my best friend in the UK. We would make videos together, and then we started doing little things like making wrestling videos as well. They were really good, and it was through my wrestling videos is how I got to know Cousin Cheeto, because he was part of a group called the Wrestling Revolution, and they wanted me to be on board with them. At the same time, I kind of got burnt out a little bit, like when it came to the atheist stuff. I think everything which had to be said was said, and there was no more debating. And instead of having debates and arguments with other creationists, we started infighting, and I got fed up of that. And regarding the wrestling, I got fed up of that as well. I just had enough of wrestling. It's just so fucking shit. It's not as good as it used to be, and it's very hard to watch a product run by an authoritarian and a despicable human being like Vince McMahon. And so I was kind of done with that, and then that was my YouTube done for a while. But then I still maintained friendships with people like Cousin Cheeto through Facebook and so on. And then one day we just got talking, saying, why don't we make YouTube videos on stuff we like? Because even though I was a bit of an activist when I was younger, trying to fight for gay rights and all of these sort of things, not just about atheism, but all the people who are oppressed in this world, speaking up for them, being a voice for them. At the same time, I wanted to do something which was fun, something I really enjoy. And I love Marvel. I love film. I love film in general. Like, you've seen the stuff I've reacted to on your YouTube channel. It's a smorgasbord of variety.
Right.
And I've grown up with these sort of things my entire life. And so we reacted to films, we're reviewing films, and not just films, television shows, coming together, debating stuff, talking about latest news as well, that we were finding out about certain projects coming out that interest us. And then more recently, I love sports. I love football. You guys would call it soccer. You know what I mean? I love that shit. I mean, Manchester United lost 5-0 to Liverpool. That's such a big deal if you follow this sport. But those two, I mean, neither of those teams are teams I support. I support the Arsenal, which is right there. We're pretty shit as well, by the way. But nevertheless, that's a team I support. But Man United and Liverpool are two of the biggest teams in the world. They don't like each other. And for Liverpool to beat Man United 5-0 on Man United's home turf was a big fucking deal yesterday. And I was very happy to report that and talk about that with my friend Bossman, who's a Man United fan. So he was very miserable yesterday, and I was, enjoying his misery. I fucking loved every minute of it. You saw me talking on social media how I was frothing at my mouth like a rabid dog, because I just wanted to have a go at all these Man United fans. I wanted to lick their fucking tears, but that's what it means when you're a fucking football fan. You just want to goad and banter with the opposition when they lose, especially when they lose badly like that. So there's so many things I fucking like. It's hard to know them all. Sometimes I forget that I like a certain thing, and then you just have to, oh yeah, I forgot I like that. And I want to throw that into NerdTube. I want to throw that into No Budget Productions as well. Everyone likes food. I've got food videos. Everyone likes certain TV shows. I've got that there as well. Certain genres of films, I've got that there as well. Certain sports. There's so many fucking things out there, and I'm really lucky. I'm really happy that within myself, I like so many fucking things. Not just Star Trek, not just Star Wars, not just sci-fi. All types of fucking things. When it comes to entertainment and stuff. So, yeah. I forgot where I was going with my rambling, but yeah, that's just me in a fucking nutshell. And I'm still the activist. I still like to fight for things, You know, we've debated regarding the bisexual Superman. It pisses me off beyond fucking belief that so many people have an issue with fucking bisexual Superman, a fictional fucking character. Before he was even before Jonathan Kent was brought out as being bisexual, there was rumors of a black Superman, and people were losing their fucking shit over that. They're losing their shit over a fictional fucking character that doesn't exist, who's from another fucking planet, being black. You know what I mean? You see where that comes from? Like, I can't believe people are losing their fucking minds over that, but people were, and I'm more pissed off that people are pissed off about that than I'm pissed off with the changes. You know, changes are inevitable. Things are always fucking changing. Fucking Commissioner Gordon is black in the upcoming Batman. You know, played by Jeffrey Wright, a fucking legend. You know, in acting, and you know, one day maybe Batman might be black. You know, and there's just so many changes that might fucking happen in comic books, and some people just can't fucking handle it. And I have an issue with those fucking people. I can't fucking stand those fucking people, because deep down, you know, they just want the status quo to be how it is, and they don't like change. And for me, change is inevitable.
Well, if you take a character, going back to you know, your love for Gotham, we'll go back to Batman. You know, take him in the 1930s. He was a dark vigilante who carried a gun. You know, fast forward to the 40s, he's a guy who's fighting aliens in a sci-fi setting. Go to the you know, 1950s and 60s, he's a fatherly figure to Robin in a very campy type setting. Go back to the 1970s, he's you know, back to the dark, you know, roots. Now he's a detective. Go back to the 80s, he's it's now grim and gritty detective type stories. You know, go to the 90s, it's even darker. Go to the, you know, 2000s, he's very dark, very grim. You know, it's one of those things where you know, characters evolve over time. You know, we've even replaced him with Jean-Paul Valley. We've replaced him with Dick Grayson. We've replaced him with hell, even Jim Gordon. It's one of those things where, you know, characters change, stories change, and it's one of those things where it's just the writer who's writing, you know, for that particular story, and it's the character in that moment. Things change, you know, and it's, to me, I never, you know, I think a good discussion is a wonderful thing. Bigotry's not. I don't understand. I don't understand the vitriol for the characters or the publishing. My thing has been, give me a good story and I'll read it. You know, if the story's good, there's that. You know, I sadly I haven't picked up a comic book in 15 years, just because I haven't. You know, I hate the fact that Brian Englund brings up a very good point. He says Harvey Dent was played by Billy D. Williams. They planned Two-Face to be, you know, black.
I swear he was also black in the 90s animated cartoon as well.
I think he was. I don't know if he was black.
Maybe Latin American, maybe, but he was definitely not white.
He wasn't white. Yeah, no, he wasn't white. Yeah, he wasn't white. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me, because I'm Mr. 24 fucking 7 bandit.
Yeah, guy, yeah, never sleeps. But no, that's, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, a lot of people get their panties in a bunch because it's not what they're used to, and that's kind of a shame, because they don't know what stories that they're missing out on. You know, like I said, I haven't picked up a comic in 15 years, just because, like I said, I don't like multiple. You know, you got to pick up 15 comics just to know what's going on in the storyline. I kind of miss the days where, you know, you could go to the grocery store and there'd be a comic rack right there and you could pick up a comic book, you know. I prefer, honestly, the cartoons that they have with these characters, or like Titans. I like Titans. I know you've done some reviews on Titans, and you and I've kind of discussed the pros and cons of some of the episodes, yeah. You know, the mind numbiness of some of the common sense. But it's still good television, and you get to explore the characters there, you know. But yeah, it does kind of suck that, you know, it brings out the bigotry in some of these people, and you would expect some of these people would be a little bit more enlightened. You see some of that in the Star Trek universe as well, where you're like, how can how can some of these enlightened people who want the Federation be so short-sighted? I don't
I
fucking
swear,
get it.
if X-Men came out today, they'll be calling that woke. If fucking the movie Alien or Aliens came out today, because Sigourney Weaver is the lead character, a very strong female who was pushing men around as well, they'll be calling that fucking woke. It drives me fucking nuts, this term woke. When I hear the word woke, my alarm bells go off, because it's just really is. It's a signal of people just not liking certain demographic changes and stuff like that, which are becoming more common in the media that we're soaking up. It might have been quite original back then, but nowadays, because we are accepting change, some people don't want to accept that change, and so they call it fucking woke. And I fucking hate that word. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's just meant to be derogatory towards something that they don't like, and I don't like that. So Steve says, in my opinion, superheroes should be allowed to mature, to age, to get sick, to retire, to eventually die. No, I agree. In my opinion, and this is just me.
Steve Rogers, by the way, comes to mind.
What's that now?
Like Steve Rogers to a degree.
Yeah, I think if it was up to me, I don't think Superman. I don't think Clark should be Superman. I don't think Bruce should be Batman. I think it should be the second tier characters. I think Dick should be Batman. I think I personally think Connor should be Superman. Because he was Superboy for a while. The second tier characters should have moved up. They did that for a while, and then they reverted back to the status quo. Sadly, DC doesn't ever move out of the status quo. They're kind of afraid. Marvel's kind of the same way sometimes. But DC more so, and it seems like DC reboots every couple of years, which is one reason why these people who get pissed off at a gay Superman or a gay Tim Drake, it's like, look, they're going to reboot shit. Why are you complaining? I don't like DC because they reboot so much. I mean, they had like 3 reboots in like 5 years. I don't like DC Comics for that reason. It's like, look, make change and stick to it. Marvel's a little bit more daring in that capacity. I mean, they do that all the time with the X-Men universe. They change something and then they stick to it.
Well, we've got multiverses, you see, so it just happened. It might like if you've seen the Injustice movie, have you seen that?
Yes. Oh no, I haven't. Yeah. But I've the comic I have. Yeah, but I haven't seen.
The Injustice cartoon is out now on all good piracy outlets, and we see Jonathan Kent, as in Clark's dad, not his son, alive, and Martha is not alive. So you instantly realize you're in a different universe because Jonathan's alive and Martha ain't. So, as far as I'm concerned, with the multiverses, it could be any, like one universe, something's like this, another universe, something's like that, another universe, something's like this. We've had evil Superman on various occasions. Not many people are too concerned about that. When Superman is supposed to be the,
symbol of hope,
the embodiment of purity and goodness, and I like that version of Superman too. But I have no problem with Superman being a fucking asshole as well. What would it be like if this man who can pretty much take over the world did? And I'm glad those fucking questions are being answered in certain, types of stories. And isn't that what we need? Variety is the fucking spice of life. Well, some people don't like spice.
Well, they say in the comic books, Superman's too boring, and then when you give them something different, then they complain about that. It's like, the thing is, like, you can never please the comic book fans, and realistically, the fans don't really know what they want. That's why you have fan fiction, and usually fan fiction isn't all that good. So it's like, just see the stories and move on to the next. So Bandit asked.
Sorry.
Bandit asked. Oh, go ahead.
Regarding Superman, for instance, like in Zack Snyder's Superman films, not Man of Steel, but definitely Batman versus Superman. I kind of liked, even though the film wasn't that great, I kind of liked what they were doing. What would Superman be like in today's world? And in today's world, a lot of people would look at him like a fucking deity. You know what I mean? And a lot of people would fucking hate him because because they wouldn't like, they no matter what he does, he could do anything and everything. But they would hate him because he's such a powerful human being, who could do anything and everything. So there'd always be people who would be skeptical of him, and there's always people who would bloody kiss the ground he fucking walks on. And Snyder was kind of going somewhere with that, and I kind of appreciated that because prior to that, everyone fucking loves Superman. Yeah, nice one, Superman. Isn't it normal just to see a guy flying around, fucking picking up buildings? No, the world doesn't work like that, and I'm glad Snyder put that more realistic approach to it. So it's good to see all these different variations, and I that's what I like about comic books and people's ideas when it comes to putting them on the page or putting them on the screen.
Right. No, and it's one of those, like, Superman, we've come a long way since Christopher Reeve, and those were good in its time, and there's still justification for that version, but to see something a little bit different on screen, it's just as valid. So Bandit asks, explain to me, how does superheroes fly? They don't fly, they manipulate gravity. That's, oh my goodness, they manipulate gravity. That's all it is.
Someone like Magneto, he just needs metal boots and he's flying.
There you go.
Because he can lift up metal, so he just puts like a couple of pennies under his shoes and he's ready to fucking go anywhere. So yeah.
So Steve says the stories of Superman from the 1940s and 50s are still out there. Those characters and their adventures still exist. Having the latest replacement be gay or whatever is fine. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, totally agree.
Steve says it depends on the hero. Let's see. Dave G. Sound says Riker became captain and was relegated back to executive officer. Those Battlefield Commission, but just came back to normal. No, and that's the biggest problem with a lot of these franchises is they do something that steps outside the norm, and then they go, they kind of have that reset button. Voyager was a lot the same way. Like they have take a Year of Hell, for example. The ship got smashed to pieces and fucked up. And then at the end of it, reset button. A lot of those adventures, and that's my biggest problem is you get invested in the story that they're telling, and then reset button. I want some. What's that now?
Lower Decks did that.
Yeah, I don't like stuff like that. If you're gonna do something, do it, stick to it. Have a story that has ramifications. Otherwise, why get invested in the characters or the story that they're telling? So Bandit says, I expected to see Zam cook pizza rolls. See, that's the reaction videos we need from you, Zam. We need those type of reactions. Someone cook a pizza roll.
You have me reacting to food soon enough.
See, I'm gonna make pizza rolls, a video of that, and we need you reacting to me cooking.
Oh
pizza
hell
rolls.
yeah, it'll be my pleasure.
That's what we need. So Dave G. Sound says, poor Harry Kim. Yes, I know the backstory, and that character got boned. Yes, he absolutely did.
He got boned in the right way at times, though, man. Some of the fucking boning he was doing was all right.
Screw the promotion. He got good. So that being said, a reaction video. We have one of you with Lamb. You were.
If I could just interject, because
Absolutely.
People love food. I love fucking food. I've actually, since I quit smoking, where is it? I've loved the food a bit too much now. You can't see it. There's a blue. Can you see that little blue thing there?
I can.
That's a footsteps thing. After I finish this, I'm going to start just walking on that. But the idea of walking outside my house doesn't appeal to me. But at least I can fucking walk on that and watch YouTube videos while I'm doing it. So I need to start losing some weight. Since I quit smoking, I've put on weight, which is hard to believe because the smoking I used to do gave me the fucking munchies. And I thought to myself, if I wasn't going to get the fucking munchies anymore, then maybe I'd lose weight. But that hasn't been the fucking case. So, yeah, I'm going to be exercising soon. But nevertheless, we all love food. I like reacting to food. And I came across this guy called Wilderness Cooking. He's a guy from Azerbaijan. And he just cooks naturally, like off the land. He always uses natural fires, no gas or ovens or shit like that. He sometimes hunts his own animals or fishes for his own animals and uses vegetables and other products just, around him. He just picks it out from fucking Mother Nature instead of going to the shop to buy it. And I just love the way he cooks. And I thought to myself, I'll react to some of his cookery videos. It's awesome.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Man, look at it. It looks gorgeous. Still sizzling. I love it. Oh, perfection. Yeah. Properly cooked, man. Is that some bread? Wow. It's just so well cooked, dude. It's crispy on the outside, perfectly cooked. That nod of delight. Oh, I bet it is super, man. I bet it is super. I want to eat that right now. I mean, that video, he put that lamb in salt. I wish I could have got more, but it was really hard to get a larger clip than that. But that entire lamb was caked in salt, and then he would cook it from beneath, and then he threw, burning logs on top of the salt as well. So the whole thing was just covered in a mountain of fucking of coals and fire and stuff like that. Thank you very much. I just started playing that, and yes, thank you very much for telling me that I look fine. It's just me, baby. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed his videos. I like the fact that he's got very unique ways of cooking, and then you see the salt being all burnt, and then he's like ripping the salt off, and then he does need. I always thought that he should marinate his food a little bit more, but when you're in the sort of Azerbaijani outback, you got very little to deal with at times, and he does like make his own marinades out of crushing tomatoes and stuff like that at times, and putting some salt and pepper and maybe a bit of paprika and stuff like that. But there's not much he's got to deal with when you're just doing natural cooking in the Azerbaijani outback. But you saw some of the scenery as well. It's absolutely fucking beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
And the guy's got over 1 million subscribers as well, just cooking food.
Well, that was the thing. Like up until you posted that video the first time, I never even knew stuff like that really existed. I sat there and I was enthralled by it. I was just sitting there, I saw the video. I was like, oh, that's weird, huh? Okay. And then I sat there and I gave it a shot, and I was just the whole time I'm just like,
yeah.
It reminded me of like on Thanksgiving when you're cooking the Thanksgiving turkey and you're like, man, I just want to rip the skin off and tear it and eat it up, and that's this right here. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, this guy's cooking, and he's using every bit of it, and it looks so good, you can't help but your mouth waters as you're watching the video. I mean, it's so good. Now, how exactly did you come across the video again?
A friend of mine called Ginger Greek, because he's Greek and he's ginger. He's a foodie like me, and he came across that video, and then I watched one of his videos. Like he did like a really cool video where he made a spit roast by the river, and he made his own spit roast, and he used the current of the river to spin the fucking spit roast thing, which was amazing, and he did that all just by getting wood and just carving it himself like fucking Crocodile Dundee, doing all of that shit himself and using the river to spin the spit roast, which he would be cooking right by the river as well. And I thought, wow, this is just amazing. Binged a few more of his videos, and I thought to myself, I really am enjoying this. And this, even nerds like food. We don't get to our sizes by not fucking by not liking food, do we? So I'm sure nerds are going to appreciate all these cooking techniques and natural cooking and stuff like that. I'm sure they're going to love it, you know, and it's just so tranquil as well. Like it's lovely watching this particular guy. There's no shitty fucking music. There's no loudness and all of that bollocks. It's just a guy in nature making
Enjoying
food
himself.
and
Yeah.
enjoying himself. And you know, some of the words I'm trying to think of is escaping me right now. But you know, it's really chilled. You know
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
at peace. Yeah, he's definitely
Yeah.
at peace. He's doing his thing. Yeah.
And I feel
Well, and
chilled
that was
watching it though.
well, and that was the thing that you know when you told me, you were like, he gives the food to the kids and they eat.
Yep.
This is how they. That was the thing that blew me away was, this is a guy that's not just doing it for him and he's like, I got leftovers. I'm good. He's doing it to feed the community. And the community of kids there. It's like that's really heartwarming. That he's doing it. Not just for him, but he's doing it to give back. How many people they don't even do that with the grocery store that they have down the street. They could easily just go down to the food pantry and donate. But this guy's doing it with nature, doing it with bare hands, taking the time to do this. Stuff that I couldn't do. Hell, I can barely cook noodles in a pot. Hot dogs. And this guy's doing the full course meal.
He's got a really good cameraman with him as well. They're using drones as well to get the best out of the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a bad cook. I would love to do cooking videos, but I need a cameraman, and that's the reason why I'm finding it difficult to ever. I mean, I'll post some pictures of some of the stuff I've cooked now and again, but without a cameraman, I'll find it impossible to make cookery videos. Anyway,
well, Steve says if you want to see me make videos making food, I could. Lots of tacos, pasta, burgers. Steve, if you ever make those videos, post them on the No Budget Productions, man. Dude, I'm all for anything you post, man. It's all good to me, man.
Brian Anglin said he got hooked on foreign military ration taste tests. Interesting. Fair enough.
Right on, man. So that being said, you've done those type of videos, and then you've done other types of videos. What other type of videos have you done besides the food reaction videos?
No, we do reactions of various types, and we do reviews as well. But since I quit smoking, I've got more money in my pocket. I never realized, when you quit smoking, how much more money you end up getting from doing that. And not just that, but I end up having more motivation to do my work because I'm not exhausted. I'm not dying to come back home to have a smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So I end up doing more work as well, earning more money. So I end up buying stuff. I end up having so much fucking money. I'm not here to brag, but I ended up buying myself a PlayStation 5. I ended up buying myself shirts, loads of shirts, like this shirt. Like this shirt here I'm wearing right now. The first time I'm wearing this shirt, I've held this shirt back, but I told myself I'm going to wear this fucking shirt on the Pizza Roll Diaries. And I've got an abundance of shirts now. Some of them fit me well, some of them don't. That's because I put on a bit of weight, like I said, since I quit smoking. But
see, that's why on my films I only shoot from like here up, because otherwise then you see my huge gut, pop out. So I get you, man. I get you.
Yeah, but I'm a bit concerned now. I'll be honest with you. Like I feel like I'm hulking out of my clothes. You know what I mean? So I need to. That's why I am. But I'm self-conscious enough to know that I need to lose a bit of weight. But nevertheless, I've been buying more clothes, been just buying more stuff. Like I bought this, a dustbuster. The reason being, hello Dax, you there? Daxy, come here. She'll come here in a second. Dax, come here. Come here, Dax. Come here. Come here. Quit smoking. I bought this as well. Because look, I made sure I put my finger there because I knew she was going to do a shit as soon as she saw me. Let me just wipe this off. I'd rather she shit on my hand than shit on the floor. But
there you go.
Yeah, but so I bought myself a bird, and I really wanted a pet, but there was no way I was going to get a pet whilst I my bedroom was a smoking palace. So I made sure that I quit smoking, and then when I quit smoking, I got myself a pet. It was going to either be a bearded dragon or a bird. I realized bearded dragons were a lot more expensive, so I ended up getting myself a bird. And now I've got this little fucking pain in the ass, and she annoys me all the time. She's I love her to bits, by the way. But when I eat, she wants to eat. Like there's nothing I eat that she won't want to eat, and so like I'm just being able to invest in things, and it's great. So unboxing videos, I've done them because I want to show off all the shit I've been buying, and yeah, maybe we can show some of that.
Absolutely. Let me get that on.
Right. The next shirt. Oh, I think it's time we assemble, baby. This is the Avengers shirt here. All the symbols. Have a good juicy look at these symbols, motherfuckers. Have a good look at them. There's a whole bunch of symbols there. Try and decipher what you think each one is. Some of them are obvious, some of them ain't. But have a good fat juicy fucking look. I'm about to go into the next shirt. But yes, this is my Avengers shirt. It looks nice, like writing in the middle of Stan Lee as well. The way the A is written with the word Iron Man, Bucky Barnes, Thor, Gamora, Hawkeye, Hawkeye, Falcon, Captain America. Yeah, it's really, really, really well done. I love it. It's a great shirt. Very clever shirt. Alright, there's a grey one here. Let's do the grey one. Oh, yes. I'm talking about women because I love having female superheroes on my chest. And it's about time we get some DC representation. This is the lovely Wonder Woman. Isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she cute? Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Yes. Alright, what's next? Oh, more Captain Marvel, baby. This time very simply, Captain Marvel. Love it. I love it. I love Captain Marvel. I really fucking do. Captain Marvel is fucking awesome. And I'm really happy to have her in any way possible on my fucking chest.
See, that's the thing I love about you, man. Is like as you're singing the Wonder Woman song, man. Like you don't give a shit. You're just having a good time. And the thing about your videos is, even if you're not particularly interested in what you're talking about, like the audience, if they're like, well, I'm not really interested in this, or I'm not, like, you chime in anyway, because you are infectious with what you're talking about. Your smile, your laugh, you're just so happy, where it's like, I want to tune in because it's like, you make me interested in what you're talking about. And that's always the sign of somebody that you want to be around,
Thank you.
Like when you go to a party and you're like, I want to go, you see a guy that is surrounded by people because he's the guy telling the story. That's you. And I love that about you, man. Like you're singing, you're talking, you love it, whatever you're talking about, you are completely happy with that moment,
Oh,
seize
mate,
the moment.
opening those packages, I was like, yeah, look what I'm fucking opening up for myself. Thank you very much. I got 2 Captain Marvel shirts. I almost bought 3. I told myself, I need to calm down on the Captain Marvel stuff. I like having female superheroes on my chest, and so I've got sorry, I got a bit of fucking pineapple here. I've got Captain Marvel. I've got 2 of them. I've got Wonder Woman. I've got also some villains as well, like Harley Quinn. I've got a shirt of hers, and I've also got some a shirt of the women of Star Trek, and that's got like Janeway, Deanna Troy, I think 7 of 9, and Jadzia Dax. So I love all of that stuff. Represent, these women are fucking awesome, and and I'm standing by them. I believe in them. I love fucking women. What can I say? So yeah, I bought all these shirts representing them.
Well, they have some powerful ones. I mean, Gal Gadot. Nobody really, at least I don't think. It's been how long since we had powerful, hero for the DC universe, at least hero wise. I
Maybe
think,
Supergirl. That was about it. Last
yeah,
one.
but that I mean, in live action, I think before Gal Gadot, you had what was it, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. I don't think they really had many
Oh my
live action.
god.
Yeah, and I don't
Oh,
really. You
and she
would,
was
yeah,
She was Alfred's niece
me,
when
yeah,
all this
I
time
would,
she's been Gordon's niece. But
yeah, Gordon's daughter. Yeah, I wouldn't really include Alicia
Gordon's
Silverstone in
daughter.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's stretching it. Before then you had Helen Slater as Supergirl. You had, but that was what, 30 years, prior.
Yeah, and that film was fucking awful. And it was Christopher Reeve was supposed to cameo in that movie, and he didn't.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was the same universe.
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't that good? Yeah. No, Jimmy Olsen was in that one, but yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, before then, the last time you actually had a decent representation was um, Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. So I mean, you really don't have much representation female wise. But I know for me, I think my favorite for Star Trek was uh, Kira Nerys for DS9. I mean, she was pretty powerful. For strength for women. I mean, she grew up pretty shitty in the the uh, the resistance,
Yeah.
Kardashian resistance, everything. And the thing I loved, she became the colonel, and then she became a commander for the short
Wasn't she a
period of time.
major?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was a major, but then she was promoted to a colonel. Like, I mean, she rose up in the Bajoran militia, but then when Cisco went, he went somewhere, I forget. But like, she was actually put in the Starfleet uniform and promoted to commander, like, in charge of the Defiant, for a short amount of time. But like, for me, like, that was just, for women, empowering, I don't know, like, I love that story arc for that character, someone that grew from nothing, that was kind of held beneath the Cardassians' boot, that rose to high in Starfleet. To me, that was such a successful story arc. So no, I like those shirts. I think those are very, very
in
cool.
that same video, there was a box behind me, and my PlayStation 5 was in that box. And if you want to see me unbox the PlayStation 5, just go to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never fucking heard of, and you'll see me unbox that fucking box, and you'll see me pull out a PlayStation 5 from it as well. And mate, I fucking started dancing with it. I danced with it, man. Oh, it was so good. And look, I got Dax here now. She's eating my fruit. I'm trying to be a bit more healthy, and Dax here is eating my fruit. There you go. Let's make sure she doesn't shit over it. Oh, she gets spooked quite easily. So, but yeah, there you go.
So that being said, so we have you. Let's see. Hold up. Steve says, and before Batgirl, you have to go back to the mid '80s, Helen Slater, '70s Wonder Woman. Yep. As well as ISIS on Saturday mornings. See, I don't remember ISIS on Saturday mornings, so you're ahead of me on that one, Steve.
No, ISIS on Saturday mornings. How wrong does that sound?
I don't remember that one. So that being said, you've done a lot of reviews on different types of things, from wrestling to Star Trek to Star Wars to DC, Marvel, wrestling, all different types of stuff.
You name it, I definitely do it, because and this is where I'm gonna have to rip on my friend here, my dear friend Cousin Cheeto. Unlike Cousin Cheeto, I like various things. I'm not limited to a few things. I'm trying to get this motherfucker to watch Dune, but he doesn't want to fucking watch it because he might fall asleep. Dune is fucking awesome. Watch the fucking movie, mate. If you're watching this, Cheeto, watch fucking Dune. Yes, it has dialogue. Yes, it's not meant for fucking kids. Yeah, but it's still a good fucking film, mate. Watch fucking Dune. And I love ripping on him for that. I told Cheeto, don't watch Squid Game. It's not meant for kids, and it has got a lot of dialogue in it. Yeah, because I like taking the piss out of him for that, because you see how he goes regarding certain fan films we've reacted to. He goes, oh, there wasn't much action in it. So I think to myself, God, he only likes brain dead entertainment. But nevertheless, I can't help myself. I'm ripping on Cheeto. He's my buddy, but he knows I love him really. So yeah.
So Squid Game, what was that a good series? I've heard.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Because right now I'm watching Man in the High Tower. Have you seen that one?
A High Castle?
High Castle, that's it. High Castle.
Yeah, I watched the first season and I kind of got a bit tired of it. Like one of the things that annoyed me about it was them finding out, I think in the first season, that there is a parallel universe where the Nazis lost. I'm thinking to myself, why are you doing this? This is a universe where the Nazis won. Let's just see how this universe pans out.
Unfolds,
you don't need to make it all, you don't need all this other shit. And that really kind of made me dislike the show. But like, I don't want them to have hope of finding out there's a parallel universe where the Nazis lost. That's just stupid. This is not a science fiction show. This is an alternative history show.
Right.
So, and I just couldn't continue after that. It made me lose, but it's not what I wanted from the show.
Right. See, I'm about 4 episodes in, and I'm
so sorry. I might have given away some spoiler.
Oh, dude, spoilers don't bother me. Spoilers never bother me. So I mean, I'll still watch. So you're fine, man. So yeah, I'm about 4 episodes in, and I'm intrigued. Because it's like that was the thing that pulled me into it, was the alternate history thing. I was like, okay, I'm curious to see where it goes. So what was your rating on the first season as a whole?
It was good until that obvious thing I told you about, where
right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna mention. I've already started, so I'm gonna finish.
No, dude, by all means, yes.
They come across film footage where the Nazis fucking lost. Yeah, and because of that, it's like it really pissed me off that day. It's like, why are we going there? Like, why are you making this all fucking sci-fi Twilight Zone sort of quantum leapish? I don't know what the right terminology is, but it became science fiction instead of alternative history. And as much as I love my science fiction, I just didn't think it was appropriate for this. I wanted a world where the Nazis won and people are trying to survive in this world, like a second resistance maybe, is a new uprising through it. That would be better than this, people learning that there was an alternative. There's an alternative universe where the Nazis lost, and so it left such a sour taste in my mouth that after 2 episodes or 3 episodes into the 3rd season, I just gave up on it. I just couldn't do it anymore. It's not what I wanted anymore.
What do you do with that information? I mean, what is that? I mean, what would you do with that information? It doesn't really help you, would it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's supposed to give them hope, but the whole point of this dystopian future is there isn't any hope, And it's also one of the good things about it was this one particular Nazi who we followed, played by Rufus Swell. In this world, like if you are ill or you're disabled, you are dead. You know what I mean? And Rufus Swell finds out that his son is going to have a disease that will put him on the chopping block for being massacred by the Nazis. Regardless of being even if you're a Nazi yourself, if you're disabled or mentally or physically handicapped, they'll kill you. But they want perfection. They don't want imperfection. And so you can see him fighting this inner battle, knowing that his son, who's suffering from this medical condition, will end up being, physically impaired, maybe mentally impaired. And he knows that's going to happen to his son eventually, but he's also a fucking Nazi, and it's fascinating watching that, in the sense that here's a guy who is a terrible human being, but we're being sympathetic towards his cause regarding his son. And that's great. That's fucking great. That's great writing. That's great
storytelling. Yeah.
But there wasn't enough of that, and like I said, when it went all sci-fi-ish, I just got fed up of it.
Yeah, it sounds like it was going this way, then all of a sudden skewed this way.
Yeah, exactly. I think having this man in the high castle like this fucking I don't know deity type person or whatever. I thought the man in the high castle was a metaphor for Hitler. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's not.
And I thought it might have been, but I think the man in the high castle is the person who can possibly save the universe or save the world from Nazis and go to this alternative universe where the Nazis lost. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's a good show, like to a degree. Some interesting characters. There's a lot of self-sacrifice, and I think self-sacrifice is played up too much. I think people don't realize how selfish human beings are, and not everyone is willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. And I saw a little bit of that in Man in the High Castle, more than I liked, you know. So, but yeah.
So
okay,
we have one more video. What can you tell us about what we're about to watch for the last clip?
Okay, now I am a fan film critic, and I don't like to pull my punches. Cousin Cheeto's actually had to edit some of the stuff I've said in the past because he thinks I've been too harsh. On the 27th of October on NerdTube, we are bringing out the bottom 5 or top 5, how you want to look at it, of the fan films we thought were the fucking worst things we've ever seen in our entire lives. Now, we're going to give you a little clip of number 5 and my reaction to it. And it's not so bad, actually, come to think of it, this particular reaction I have. And you're only going to see 2 minutes of a half an hour video. But if I don't like something, I'm going to fucking say it. You know, and I'm going to go with my feeling as well. And your friend Acid Man, he's in that top 5, by the way. And I can't wait till people see me review his fucking video. But nevertheless, you're going to see us. You're going to see in this next clip, you're going to see me react to a film called Star Wars Origins, and this has what's his name? Andy Costa. What was his name? The guy who did the Robin Williams impression. Jamie Costa. Yeah. Jamie Costa is in this video, by the way. But this film is a fucking travesty because this is Star Wars on Earth. What the fuck is Star Wars doing on Earth? You know, it should never be anywhere near Earth. Earth shouldn't even be in this universe. You know, this entire galaxy, there shouldn't be Earth there. But this is Star Wars on Earth. And that already left a real sour taste in my mouth watching this fucking monstrosity. So you're going to see how I react to it. Let's take it away. I just want to say so far that I hate everything about this. I hate everything about this.
I usually love fan-made films, but this is
blasphemous, mate.
Oh, look, she's a Jedi.
I was about to say, did you guys notice she used the Force?
Yeah, cool.
Did she? I had no idea.
Started coming a mile away.
Didn't give a fuck.
She pulled a vibrator in and turned it into a lightsaber. Reverse polarity.
Oh my god. You can still shoot him. You can still shoot her.
I think you just said
You can still shoot her. You can still shoot her.
What?
You can still shoot her. No. Habibi.
Yalla. What are the Nazis doing there? They weren't in Egypt in 1944.
Oh god, shirt and tie, please. I'm dying here. Oh my god.
Arabs! Nazis! What? Oh my god!
Sam, this is why your face needs to be on screen.
Oh, this is so good.
Well, you saw me get the giggles there because I'm watching a Star Wars fucking film and the goddamn Nazis decide to appear out of nowhere. And I just thought, what the hell is this shit? This film was fucking endorsed by Mark Hamill. I like Mark Hamill a lot. I'm very much a Mark Hamill fan. On this particular occasion, he got it so fucking wrong. And we ended up getting a lot of shit from the people who made these fan films. They came back to us and they didn't like our reaction to it, but it's Star Wars on Earth, you know, and you got fucking Nazis in the Star Wars fucking film. We've already got Nazis. They're called the Empire, mate. We don't need fucking more Nazis. Yeah. It just felt so wrong. Everything about that film felt totally. Hello, V-Star. Everything about that film felt just totally inadequate. And you saw me actually being quite mild there because I was laughing at it, definitely not with it. I was laughing at it. You saw me. I lost my fucking senses there. I think I might have still been on the fucking green stuff back then, which is why I was laughing so fucking much. You know, it was an absolute monstrosity of a fan film, and the only reason why that film is not number one but number 5 out of our top 5 is that you can see there's a massive scale there, budget there. It's quite, you know, like there's so many fucking actors and extras. They did put a lot of effort into that fan film, but the story is beyond fucking stupid. Regardless of how much effort and dedication you put in there, if the story is as stupid as that, I'm going to fucking laugh at it. And I couldn't help myself but laugh at it. And usually I'm a lot worse, as I said before. I've taken stuff apart, and you'll see me take stuff apart in in the upcoming bottom 5 of fan film reactions on NerdTube on the 27th of October. So keep an eye out for that. But at least you got a snippet of number 5, by the way. Number 4, 3, 2, and 1 is yet to come.
It makes me actually want to go watch the film to see like what is this about? Because I don't know Star Wars very well. Like I enjoyed The Mandalorian, but I think it's because I don't have to know a lot about the Star Wars universe and able to just kind of step right in and watch it and go, oh, I enjoy this. Oh, I get that reference. Oh, I like this, you know. Whereas part of the problem with like the new trilogy is I have to know everything that came before and every small reference and Easter egg in order to understand what the hell they're talking about. So I'm sitting there half the time going, I don't know what I'm watching, so I don't enjoy it. I mean, well, of course,
they tried to mix, you know, a. No, thank you very much, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah.
They tried to mix a couple of genres. Definitely Indiana Jones, definitely Star Trek. You know, and basically it's about a star destroyer somewhere in the Middle Eastern desert under sand. And these, you know, these sort of like archaeologists have found it. This one archaeologist played by Jamie Costa, the Robin Williams impersonator, and you know, like I remember, I think that was one of the first fan films we reacted to, and myself and Ginger Greek, who was the guys beneath me in that clip, we were so looking forward to this. You know, Mark Hamill's endorsed this and stuff like that, and then immediately finding out that this is set on Earth is like, oh my god! Like the first within 5 seconds of watching this, that we're realizing that it's set on fucking Earth. It's like, oh my god, this is not what I want. You know, this is going to be shit. I mean, how dare you fucking set a Star Wars film on Earth? That just doesn't happen. That never happens. And so I knew it was going to be.
It's. I mean that's like in the first like it breaks the rules of like every 5 seconds. I mean the first 5 seconds of like every Star Wars movie in a galaxy far, you know, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's like 2 rules of every Star Wars movie. I mean, you know, a long time ago, that's 1. In a galaxy far, far away, that's 2. So if you're on Earth, I mean, those are 2 rules that you've already broken. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, like I said, I'd have to go see it in order to be like, why, you know? But I mean, automatically, I mean, if you're trying to be clever, okay, I mean, I guess, but I mean, you open yourself up to criticism. It's kind of like with me. I think that was one of the things you said with Menard too, where you're like, there's a fucking pizza, a Little Caesars pizza in the background there. I'm like, well, yep, there's cars. Yep, that's. I mean, it's 20th century. I mean, I knew what I was doing when I did it because I have no choice. But I opened myself up to the same criticisms, and it's you have to do what you have to do. But I mean, if that's part of your story, I mean, that's you can't get mad at someone for saying, well, that's kind of bullshit. I mean, you're opening yourself up to that intentionally.
I did try to give it a chance. I really did, but it was such a bad start for me that it was really hard for me to open up to it.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, like when it comes to the reactions we do, like we are fair. We don't go out to rip on everything we do. You see me on the cynical, not critical, how fair I have been when it comes to certain fan films. And if there's stuff out there we like, then we're going to say we liked it. I mean, it's a shame Tyler's not here with us because we've also done a top 10 of fan films we liked. And 3 films involving Tyler are in that top 10, because it just so happens to be like that. And all 3 films are different from each other as well. Mm-hmm. So there are stuff that we do like, there's stuff that we don't like, and we just say it how it is. We don't go out there to rip on stuff for the sake of it. At the same time, we're not going to kiss ass either. We just if it floats our boat, then so be it. And sometimes reactions are different as well. Like there's been stuff we've watched where one of us has fucking loved it and one of us has fucking hated it. For instance, I was more fairer on this recently. We've done a Wolverine fan reaction. Yeah. I was a little bit more fairer on that, whilst Cheeto and Bossman, 2 guys from NerdTube, were not as fair as I was. So I was the fucking person being nice to that fan film, and those 2 weren't. And I can understand where they were coming from. My only, with regarding that fan film, my only issue is that I felt Wolverine killed a couple of people who I would consider to be reasonably innocent. They weren't like worthy of being murdered by Wolverine. And so that left a bit of a sad taste in my mouth, but it left the worst taste in their mouth, which is why they ranked it so low. I thought to myself the film was pretty good other than that, which is why I gave it a better score. So like I said, horses for courses, Well,
see,
anyway,
one of the things that I think that people who make films, especially fan films, should understand when they're being critiqued is it's not necessarily a spit in the face. People,
I agree.
When people are reviewed, it's an honor to be reviewed because people take the time to watch the movie. If they absolutely wanted to spit in the face, they just shut it off and be like, nope, it's not even worth my time. If they sit there and they have suggestions for you to get better, or they have suggestions for what to do going forward, that's an opportunity to go forward and build bridges and make things better and do things that can improve the craft. There's no filmmaker that has it 100%, 100% of the time. And people who, review movies aren't necessarily correct. You might have an opinion of one of my films. Daniel Vance says, hello, Jadzia.
Let me bring it here.
There we go.
There she is.
The true star of the Pizza Roll Diaries this morning, Jadzia. Yeah. But I mean, you might have an opinion of the film. You might be reviewing one of my films and have an opinion of it, and I might say, well, I disagree completely. It's totally
Sorry.
But you might have a critique of the film, and I might look at that and go, well, you know what, you're right. I might need to change course on this thing and go this way. So I think people who listen to reviews or critics of or critiques of their film need to look at it and go, what can I take from this, and then course correct appropriately.
Okay, I want to give valid information regarding people who make Star Trek fan films, including yourself as well as anyone else here who watches it. Is that you need to first and foremost go out there to entertain people. You've got a short window, 5, 10, 15 minutes usually when making these fan films. And the funny thing is, I see a lot of people trying to go down this ethical Star Trek route where they're trying to give really cool dialogue and make it, really interesting in that sense. But you got to be excellent fucking actors when you're doing that sort of dialogue and you're sitting around the table having a chat about certain things and whether it be ethical or not, what's right, what's wrong, and so on. You've got to be able to act. And if you can't fucking act, then you're not going to be able to deliver those lines. And then next thing you know, I'm falling asleep because you're curing my fucking insomnia with your bullshit deliveries. So not enough people really understand that. And I see that with so many fucking Star Trek fan films where they think they want to, they're trying to lore build and stuff like that. No, just give me something which is entertaining in these next 15 fucking minutes, but make it feel like Star Trek at the same time. Yeah, it's a balancing act. I totally understand that. But, like, for instance, the fan film your friend did where he was supposed to be about Harry Mudd and stuff like that, it was all right. Like, initially it felt, like the pacing was good. It was a little bit interesting. It fell apart at the end. But nevertheless, it felt. But we understood because of the problems he had when it came to making it. But he wasn't allowed to use Harry Mudd and stuff like that. But that was kind of going in the right direction. It was very interesting from the get-go. Too often, we're dealing with characters who are not, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. I mean, there are people who try to pretend to be them. That fucking pisses me off as well. Just don't do that. But when we're dealing with people we're not familiar with, and they're having these chats between each other. Well, I'll get to know you better when you start doing stuff instead of having all these stupid, dialogue sequences where you can't fucking act to deliver to deliver what you're supposed to deliver in that dialogue. When you watch a Tarantino or something like that and you see these guys talking, you're watching something epic because you've got epic actors fucking delivering, these world-class bits of dialogue in a way that really makes you appreciate it. When you've got fan filmmakers trying to do it, well, they're not fucking world-class actors. They're a bunch of fans, and they can never deliver the dialogue in the way that a professional actor can. And that's just my thing on that.
Well, the thing about a Tarantino film, it's funny that you bring that up because earlier I was going to bring up From Dusk Till Dawn, how that's that's one of my favorite. What's that now?
I love that film.
Dude, it's one of my favorite because it's one of those movies where it's like the first time I watched that one, I didn't know I'd never seen a preview or nothing. So the whole time I'm thinking it's a bank heist movie. Then all of a sudden, fucking vampires show up. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You didn't know about I knew about the vampire before they came in there, unfortunately, but it still was a lot better than I anticipated.
Yeah, it was a lot
great. Better.
But the thing about a Tarantino movie is like everybody in a Tarantino movie, like they feel real, like they feel like real people, and that's what I think. Instead of in any fan film, like be a real person instead of being your take on Kirk or your take on a Spock or your take on a version of whatever you're trying to be. Like be you, and be you 100%. Therefore, when you're acting, you're not acting, you're just being. I mean, if you're the villain of the story, well, be you pissed off, be you in a bad mood, be you cranky as fuck, and turn that up 1,000 degrees. Go, and that's all acting is. And you'll find that a much more real performance than you hamming it up, trying to play villain, and that's where I feel like a lot of these films go wrong. Because you
so
can
often the acting is so wooden. You're very good yourself, Vance, but some of the people you work alongside, they're so fucking wooden. I feel like I should be walking the plank with those motherfuckers. They need to feed off you. You need to feed off them. But when I saw James's fan film, was it the Constar or was it I forgot what it was. Your friend James, he did a fan film all on green screen. He had a few Eastern European actors. Lexington. The only thing I appreciated about it was the fact that not everyone fucking spoke with an American accent. Other than that, unfortunately, everyone else were just reading lines. They weren't acting, and if you're doing a film, you got to know how to fucking act, and I saw a really good fan film of Stormtroopers. They were on the Forest Moon of Endor. It's supposed to be just after Return of the Jedi. These guys are wearing outfits. Yeah, they're stormtroopers. You don't even see their faces, yet you could just hear how monotone their voices were.
Right.
That it ruined what could have been, well, not ruined, but unfortunately, what could have been an excellent fucking fan film was ruined by their fucking terrible monotone delivery. And we mentioned that to them. They got back to us and told us, well, we're not professional actors. They go, I know you're not, but fucking try. You know what I mean? I think some people are very self-conscious because, when you really got to let yourself go when you're an actor. You know what I mean? You got to worry about not embarrassing yourself. I think people are too self-conscious to do that. And that's why they end up being so wooden.
The thing about it is, and the excuse, I'm not a professional actor, can only go so far when you're doing something like a fan film. I mean, that can't be the be all and end all of your excuse. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you chose to take the part, you're doing the part, and when someone has a critique, I mean, it's one thing to go into it saying, okay, hey guys, I'm not a professional actor, but I'm going to do my best. But at the end of the day, to say, hey, this is what's wrong with the performance, that shouldn't be the excuse. Because I mean, the thing is, like, I am not a professional actor, but it doesn't mean that I have not given a bad performance at the end of the day. I mean, you can't say, when someone says, hey, that was really good acting right there, you don't say, well, I'm not a professional actor. I mean, so to me, it's always equal opportunity. You can't take good credit when someone gives you a compliment, and can't neglect the bad credit when, just because you're not a professional actor. So to me, you have to say, it is what it is. I can improve from this. Thank you for the criticism. Again, critical, not cynical. So when someone brings you that information and says, hey, this is where your performance failed, thank you very much. As long as they're not making it a personal attack, like you as a person are terrible because of this. Well, whoa, hey, that's never needed. But if someone says, hey, your performance here was very wooden, this is what you can do to improve. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But you should never give that as a personal excuse of, well, I'm not a professional actor. Well, no fucking shit. None of us are,
Yep.
Because if someone said, hey, knocked it out of the park. Well, I'm not a professional actor. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? So you can't use that, So I never like that when people say that, it's, hey, you took the job, so. But,
well, a couple of things. We saw Ghost Ship, with the film with Tyler. That's in our top 10 of our favorite fan films. And we liked it because those guys were having a really... Come on, get the hell out of here. We liked it because that was a really good fan film. And you could tell that Tyler and the rest of the cast were having so much fun. And that fun, it came across in their performances. Doing the Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking quotes and stuff like that. I really, really liked it. And we appreciated that. But that also wasn't necessarily laden with stupid law building dialogue and stuff like that, and all this techno babble which would have made us fall asleep. The pacing was good in that. Now, our favorite fan film is Star Trek Squadrons. Have you seen that? The one from that's not even in fucking English. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you have a Star Trek fan film that's not in English, but one of the good things about it is that they were using a period like the Dominion War from DS9.
Yep.
They were using that period, a period a lot of fans are very familiar with. And there was this one moment between, I forget the alien race that was played by Jeffrey Combs on DS9 with the weird ears.
The Vorta.
The Vorta, this Vorta lady and this Vulcan lady are having a conversation, and it's like a 2-3 minute scene. Lots of dialogue, but I was just engrossed because fantastic dialogue, and fantastic acting. I mean, she really was playing it up, the Vorta girl, and same with the Vulcan girl. I mean, Vulcans have got no emotion, so you should let your shit actors play Vulcans. But nevertheless, the Vulcan was just as good, and they were playing off each other so well. Fantastic fucking dialogue, fantastic fucking acting. And to this day, it's still our favorite fan film, and it's not even in fucking English. So that for me is the gold standard Star Trek Squadrons. It really is. I mean, everything, the sets, the makeup, it was amazing. The Jem'Hadar, fucking Jem'Hadar.
That was I was talking with Sam about that last week, because this whole month has been Samtober. But we were talking about the visual effects that went into it. And last week, that was one of the films, that in the Avalon universe was one of the ones. And but I rewatched that whole thing of Squadron because that was being one of the films. And the thing I liked about that, and it kind of goes with what you're saying, a story, a fan film should, the body language of the people should speak. If you have to rely on what they're saying and just what they're saying, then it kind of you kind of lose some of it. You know, you should be able to, at least in an action film, you should be able to tell exactly what's going on by their body language and everything they're doing. If you're having too much of a conversation, and I'm guilty of it, because 99% of my fucking films is people talking on monitors to each other. So I'm guilty of this. But a good fan film, which I think is probably why it's up there for you guys, is you can tell exactly what's going on. You could put that thing on mute, but their body language, it tells the story all in itself, and it's such a high caliber fan film. My favorite shot of that is it goes, the camera goes, it pans right across the bridge, it goes right across the helm, the captain's chair, and right to the turbo lift, and the turbo lift opens, and the guy walks out of the turbo lift onto the bridge, and I'm like, that's a great fucking, it's a great fucking shot. But it's stuff like that where, it just builds tension to the scene. And a lot of good stories do that. Most fan films, they're very static shots. The camera doesn't move, or it'll do a slight pan. It doesn't do stuff like that. It was a very action-oriented, great film. Great film.
Yeah, I highly recommend that fan film to anyone who hasn't seen it. Even if you don't like subtitles, watch that fan film. What's Steve saying?
He says, as an actor, you have 3 instruments that you have to learn to play, and play like a maestro, and play all 3 together like a symphony. Those 3 instruments are your voice, your face, and your body. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, I totally agree. And they knocked it out of the park. It's like there is a fan film with Samuel Cockings in it, and that's in our bottom 5, by the way, just so you know. So please keep an eye out for that. But luckily for Samuel, he's not in the scene that we rip apart. But this particular girl is. So I think it was something home, a long way from home, or something like that. Do you know what I'm on about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. But it's just to do with the fact the acting was so fucking shit. But that's how it is. We weren't being personal. If you have shit acting in a fan film, you could have the best sets in the world. It's not going to deliver, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The acting is fundamental, and then everything else comes after that.
Yeah. Well, you guys have, because we're approaching the hour and a half mark here. You guys have done it all, and you guys are approaching 1,000. You guys are getting pretty damn close to 1,000. Let me put up your. I got on the screen, guys. Jump over to our good friends NerdTube, the greatest channel you've never heard of, and then I got it on the screen. But I can't get on YouTube to put it in the chat. You want to go ahead and put the actual address in the live chat here, Zam?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Because you're one of the moderators on the channel, so you got access to
the greatest channel you never fucking heard of. And we are currently on 929 subscribers. And I didn't realize that I have a beef jerky reaction video as well. If you want to see me react to that, it's the same guy, Wilderness Cooking. I watched that video, by the way. He creates his own smoker, which is amazing. A natural smoker, so he can smoke his own jerky and create his own jerky through smoking it. And I watched that video, and I'm like, seriously impressed. The guy is, people say a jack of all trades and a master of none. He's a jack of all trades and a master of all, crafting and everything. I've seen him build his own oven and stuff like that. He can do anything. I've seen him get a piece of wood and carve it and turn it into a dove. It's, like a wooden dove. I mean, he's very he's just very skilled, extremely skilled, you know. And I love the way he goes, "Welcome, my friends, to wilderness cooking," and that's about as much English as he knows, you know. And then and when he ends, he'll eat the food, nod like, "Oh, this is like the fucking dog's bollocks, man," and then he'll fucking give a thumbs up and go, "Super," like that, and then and then the fucking drone camera will fly off and look at the fucking, the scenery, and then it ends, yeah. It's just wilderness cooking. Subscribe to that guy. He's just awesome, like he's such a humble, down to earth, genuine guy with no hairs and graces, the real fucking deal. So many of us, we have to be different personalities depending who we're around because of the world we fucking live in, and this guy is just him. And I very much appreciate, genuine. Yeah, that's the word for sure. But yeah.
Well, I'll have you send me that link, and I'll put that in the description of this YouTube video as well. So I'll put the NerdTube link in the description, and I'll put that guy's YouTube in the description as well. So
get it to you now if you like.
What's that now?
You want me to give it to you now?
Yeah, well, put it in the live chat, so anyone can click on there from here, and anyone watching in the rewind, I'll also put that in the description of the video, so we can.
Here he is. This is wilderness cooking. Yeah, he's my moment of zen. I like watching him with my belly full as well as my belly empty. It gives me ideas that I can't really pull off because I don't have a mountain next to me where I can dig a hole in it and turn it into a fucking oven. But he does, So, he's just awesome. Like, just awesome. So, yeah.
Well, with that being said, Zam, is there anything else you want to tell our people before we head out for the day?
Well, hopefully I'll be doing a review of Dune. I'm not sure if you guys have seen Dune. I might be getting that out later on today. I might do a recording of that because it's getting a bit late to do a live stream. But keep an eye out for that. This week as well on the Tube, we'll be reviewing Star Trek Prodigy. That will be coming out on Thursday. I'm sure all of us are.
That's this week.
28th of October. So I'm sure all of us will be looking forward to that. I am really excited about that show, more than I should be, because it is a kids show. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, I'm really hoping that this show will bring in a new generation of youngsters to watch Star Trek, because we really need Star Trek to continue with a next generation, because right now it's our generation. And even though you tell me your son watches it, there's not enough young people on board, in my opinion. And I think it's fundamental for Star Trek to have legs, to have young people. And also on Friday will be the final episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Now, I really want you guys to watch that, because Dark Side of the Ring is a fantastic show. They talk about all the terrible and horrible things that have happened to wrestlers, wrestling promotions, or certain circumstances that happened during a particular period in our time regarding wrestlers. Whether it be certain wrestlers like Macho Man Randy Savage, Brian Pillman, Chris Benoit, Ultimate Warrior. They've done episodes on those guys. Certain events like the plane ride from hell, or the collision in Korea, which were fascinating events, and some terrible things that happened. Imagine having a wrestling event in North fucking Korea. Well, Ric Flair and a few other guys did, and we reviewed that particular episode. As well as wrestling promotions, this season of Dark Side of the Ring, season 3, there have been 3 episodes, different promotions, which dealt with deathmatch wrestling, which is where you got people, smashing fucking glass tubes over each other's head, and getting power bombed and fucking thumbtacks, and having barbed wire for fucking ring ropes. It's absolutely fucked up. But this final episode of season 3 is on the famous steroid trial, which had Vince McMahon almost go to jail and almost lose his business. I'm really interested in that episode, because hopefully more stuff will be uncovered. And someone like Vince McMahon needs to have more shit in his life, because he's a fucking asshole. So keep an eye out for that episode. It's on Vice, and I will be posting it on certain social media channels as well, if you guys don't have Vice. And we'll be doing a review of that this fucking Friday. It's going to be a fucking humdinger.
So we look forward to that. Sounds good, man.
Thank you very much.
So, all right, guys. Well, we got like I said, we have in the live chat, we do have the 2 links that Zam put up there, and I will also put those in the description. So if you guys are watching this in the live chat, click on over there. If you guys are watching on the rewind, click on the description.
What's he mean by foundation? Sorry.
What's that now?
Daniel Vance, you need to do foundation. Tell me about this next time, Daniel. Next time I'm online. But I'll look into it.
All right. And with that being said, Zam, I want to thank you for coming on with me, man. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, man. You're one of my favorite people to chat with, man. Seems like we talk all the time as I'm taking Royce to school. You're the guy I'm like, hey, Zam, what's going on, man? You know, so it's nice to finally have you on and kind of BS with you and you know, talk turkey with you, man. So that being said, thank you for coming on. Everyone in the chat, thank you for coming on. Go click over to NerdTube, subscribe to them. If you haven't subscribed to me, subscribe, hit the like button. So that being said, everyone, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.
See ya.